But the country thing, I just kind of mixed the two together.
Yeah. And how did you teach yourself basically, like, you know, the Chet styles or the finger picking?
Yeah, I
and all
did.
that?
You know, just listening to records and playing records and playing along in the radio, you know, and just playing along with the records. Taught myself to play that style, you know. Just, you know, to play the Chet style, of course, you know, the tone is very important when you're playing that style.
Yeah.
But, you know, when you're playing different styles of music, the tone's very important.
Yeah.
Because it sort of leans to the type of song you're doing.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's just not right.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, absolutely.
So you doing the Louisiana Hayride? Were you backing artists on that?
Oh yeah.
So
I was
could you read music or
George Jones?
Did you read music
Well,
or how did
well,
you?
no,
work
you know,
it?
we just well, the songs were popular and just learning the songs, you know,
play
from
them, yeah.
playing them and hearing them so much.
Yeah. Most guitarists I've talked to don't read music, so, including me. So it's interesting how we just fall in there somewhere.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, there's so many different styles of music and different interpretations of how you, you know, put it out there. You know.
And the most important thing is kind of getting the language of the music. That like, it's like different accents in different countries. Every music has its own sort of accent, doesn't it?
That's true, absolutely.
And the only way you really do it right is to adopt the accent. Which
I
is
love
why
this.
us Australians, people say, you know, how come you sing in an American accent? Or I always say, well, if you're singing opera, you'd sing in Italian. Well, we're singing American music. This is where this music comes from. You know?
Right.
So when you were doing the Louisiana Hayride, you were about 14 or 15?
14.
And that's the same time when you did Susie Q?
Yeah, right.
around then.
I was 15 years old when I recorded
Right.
Susie Q.
So it was a couple of years later you were working with Ricky Nelson, I guess?
Actually, I did a movie when I was 16 with Bob Luman called Carnival Rock. And very shortly after that, we were touring in California. And that's actually when I met. We were playing on a show called Town Hall Party. And Joe Mavis and Rosalie, and it was great. Merle Travis was one of the directors.
So you're 16 years old, you're off on the road touring.
Absolutely. It's just amazing, you know. I met Ricky when I was 16 and actually joined him as his guitarist when I was 17. And that was around January 1958.
So, and there's Traveling Man and Hello Mary Lou.
Oh yeah, he had a lot of great songs. A lot of great songs. And Traveling Man had that sound, you know, that little guitar sound that I got out of my the original telly that Mother and Dad bought me, and it was a three-way switch.
Right.
And I moved it in between the middle position and the lead pickup. And I got this weird, strange little sound.
Yeah?
And it was sort of, to me, it was like a Chinese instrument sound.
All right.
You know, it's very thin sounding. But I didn't have a lot of volume, so I cranked the amp up and got it. But the sound was the out of phase sound.
Yeah, it must
which
have
was
pick up
very
out of
interesting.
phase.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
And that was the sound we got on that. We do that in D if you'd like to play that.
Yeah.
You remember the tune, right?
Traveling Man? Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me. Yeah. I remember the Ricky Nelson show was on TV in Australia every week, and
Oh, yeah.
and I used to, there's a guy playing a Telecaster there, but they never showed enough for me. I was just learning guitar at the point. So what was it like doing that?
It was great. Ricky was wonderful. He was a great singer and just a fun guy to be with. And doing the TV show was great. Ozzy would give us a 7 o'clock call in the morning and make up. Maybe at 9 o'clock that night we would actually go in and play. But it was great. It was fun. And, we would actually pre-record most of the stuff. Sometimes we'd do a live thing on the show, but most of the time we would pre-record. And it was really interesting, fun to do it. We could pick the songs we wanted to do, and it was great.
Had you already, at that point, I guess you'd already had hit records with Ricky Nelson? Had you already?
Pretty much. I think the first thing I played on was Believe What You Say. Actually, the first record I recorded with him, with Joe Maphis playing the lead guitar, was Waiting in School and Stood Up. And I just did a little rhythm thing. It was, this is not a very, very big part. And but the very next record we actually recorded was Believe What You Say.
Do you remember?
And that's when I did the string stretching thing.
Right. What about Hello Mary Lou? I've got to hear that one. That's one of the classic guitar solos. And
Yeah, Hello Mary Lou.
you remember the solo, what you played?
Yeah, I do. It was like the last half of the melody. It goes from C sharp to the sharp minor. So, we started. That had a great feel too.
Who was playing on those records with you, by the way?
Joe Osborne on bass and Richie Frost on drums, and Jimmy Haskell played the cowbell.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, the solo was just one take. I played that solo came off the top of my head, and I said, "Yeah, that works."
Great.
I mean, for that feel,
Yeah, and you would have cut it all, no overdubs then.
Yeah.
Classic solo, absolute classic.
It was fun to play.
And did Ricky play acoustic on that or anything?
He did.
Just like Elvis used to play on the early with Scotty Moore, yeah.
Yeah.
And he played well?
He did. He
Yeah.
did. Yeah, he played real well. When he first started, when I first went to work with him, he wanted to sing everything. He knew 3 chords, and he wanted to do everything in the key of E. And I said, Ricky, after about 10 songs, I said, we got to change keys here somewhere. I said, have you heard of a capo? So I turned him on to a capo, and I said, okay, let's move this capo up here, and you can still play in the E position down here in the open sound, So it worked out good, and then he actually became a real good guitar player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any other